Yes, hello students. So, in today's session, we shall look at few examples on Bowley's coefficient of skewness. As discussed in the previous session, we have three measures of skewness, coefficient of skewness, that is Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness, Bowley's coefficient of skewness, and skewness based on movements. So, previously we had discussed with problems on Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness, that is Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness uses mean, mode and standard deviation in case of a unimodal distribution, or mean, median and standard deviation in case of a multimodal distribution, or if the distribution is ill-defined. So the next method we have here is Bowley's coefficient of skewness. Bowley's coefficient of skewness is based on quartiles. So here we calculate the three quartiles, Q1 which is the lower quartile, Q2 which is the median, and Q3 which is the upper quartile. So let us look at a problem here. So we have here a discrete data. So our x values are 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 and 120. Our frequencies are 3, 7, 20, 11, 5 and 4. So this is our given data. So for a discrete data, we have the calculation of the quartiles as follows. First, we find the LCF, that is the less than cumulative frequencies, which are 3 as it is, 3 plus 7, 10, 10 plus 20, 30, 30 plus 11, 41, 41 plus 5, 46, and 46 plus 4 is 50. So the next step is finding Qi is equal to I into n plus 1 by 4. So where I is 1, 2 or 3. So first we find Q1 here. That is, we are finding the position here. So based upon that position, we locate the first the quartile values. Okay. So first we locate the position here. So Q1 is equal to 1 into n plus 1 by 4th value, which is 50 plus 1 by 4. That is 51 by 4. And its value is 12.75. Now this value gives us the location of our quartile, but it is not the value of our quartile. So we have to compare this with the cumulative frequency column here. Any cumulative frequency, either this number or greater than this number should be spotted, and the corresponding x value will be our quartile value. So we have to spot this 12.75 here, and we don't have any 12.75 here, but we have a number which is the next bigger number than 12.75, which is 30, and the corresponding x value to 30 is 60. Hence the Q1 value is 60. Similarly, Q2 is equal to 2 into n plus 1 by 4th value, which is 102 by 4, that is 25.5th value. So we have to spot this 25.5 here in the cumulative frequency column. So there is no 25.5 here, but there is just a number which is just greater than 25.5, which is 30. So the x value corresponding to it is 60. So therefore the Q2 value is 60. Similarly, Q3, that is 3 into n plus 1 by 4th value. So that is 51 into 3, 153 divided by 4, which is 38.25. So 38.25, we have to spot that in the cumulative frequency. So we have the next number which is greater than 38.25, that is 41. And the x value corresponding to this cumulative frequency is 80. Therefore, the Q3 value is 80. Now that we have calculated the values of Q1, Q2 and Q3. Q1 value is 60, Q2 value is 60 and Q3 value is 80. Now we shall write the formula of Bowley's coefficient of skewness. That is, Bowley's coefficient of skewness is given by Q3 plus Q1 minus 2Q2 divided by Q3 minus Q1. So substituting the values here, 80 plus 60 minus 2 into 60 divided by 80 minus 60. So that is 80 plus 60 is 140. 140 minus 2 into 60 is 120. So 140 minus 120 results into 20. And 80 minus 60, that is 20. So 20 by 20, that is equal to 1. So the final answer here is 1. Now observe this number, it is a positive number. Therefore, we conclude that the given distribution is positively skewed. Yes, so let us look at another example here. Here we have a continuous data. So our given class intervals are 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, 60 to 70, 70 to 80, 80 to 90 and 90 to 100. Frequencies are 1, 3, 11, 21, 43, 32 and 9. So here we have a continuous data, and therefore the calculation changes a bit for finding all the three quartiles here. So first we have to find I into n by 4. Before that we have to find the cumulative frequencies. So 1 as it is, 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 plus 11 is 15, 15 plus 21 is 36, 36 plus 43 is 79, 79 plus 32 is 111 and 111 plus 9 is 120. The total here is also 120, that is the capital N, the total of the frequency. So we have Q1 is equal to 1 into n by 4th value, that is 120 by 4, which is 30. Now we have to spot this 30 in the cumulative frequency column. So any value which is either 30 or greater than 30. So 36 here, which is just greater than 30. So here we don't have the x values directly. Neither we can consider the midpoints as the quartile values. So by calculating this, we get the position of our quartile value. We get the location of our quartile value. So our first quartile is located in the class 60 to 70. So 60 to 70 is our Q1 class, first quartile class. So based on that we have the formula here. Therefore the Q1 value is given by L plus I into n by 4 minus Cf divided by F into C, where Cf is the cumulative frequency preceding the quartile class. So preceding means the cumulative frequency before the quartile class, that is 15, divided by F. F is the frequency of the quartile class. Our quartile class here is 60 to 70 and its frequency is 21, into C. C is the width of the quartile class. So width here is 10. So 60 plus 30 minus 15 divided by 21 into 10, which yields to 60 plus 7.142, that is 67.142. So our first quartile value or lower quartile value. Similarly, second quartile. So in order to locate that, we find 2 into n by 4th value, that is 240 by 4, which is 60. So we need to locate this 60 in cumulative frequency column. So any value which is 60 or greater than 60. So we don't have a 60 here, but we have the value greater than 60, that is 79. So the class corresponding to 79 is 70 to 80. So our Q2 class is 70 to 80. So therefore the Q2 value will be given by Q2 is equal to L plus 2 into n by 4 minus Cf divided by F into C. Here the Cf is the cumulative frequency preceding the median class, that is 36. F is the frequency of this quartile class, that is 43, and C is the class width. The class width here is 10. So therefore 70 plus 60 minus 36 divided by 43 into 10, that is 70 plus 5.581, which is 75.581. Okay. Next, the third quartile. So Q3 is equal to 3 into n by 4th value. Okay, that is 3 into 120 by 4, 360 by 4, that is 90. So So we have to locate this 90 in the cumulative frequency column. So we have 111 which is just greater than 90. The class corresponding to it is 80 to 90. Therefore, Q3 class is 80 to 90. Therefore, Q3 is equal to L plus 3 into N by 4 minus CF divided by F into C. Here our CF is the cumulative frequency preceding the Q3 class, that is 79, and frequency is the F is the frequency of the Q3 class, and C is the width of the class interval here, that is 10. So therefore 80 plus 90 minus 79 divided by 32 into 10, that is 80 plus 3.437, which results to 83.437. So we have our Q1 values as 67.142, Q2 values are 7.581, 75.581, and Q3 is equal to 83.437. Therefore, the Bowley's coefficient of skewness is given by Q3 plus Q1 minus 2Q2 divided by Q3 minus Q1, that is 83.437 plus 67.142 minus 2 into 75.581 divided by 83.437 minus 67.142. So the numerator results into minus 0.583 divided by the denominator results into 16.295. So the total answer is minus 0.035. Since the answer is negative here, we conclude that the distribution is negatively skewed.
Now, while computing calculations of coefficient of skewness or Bowley's coefficient of skewness, we should remember one thing, that it involves positional averages. So here median, mode and quartiles are positional averages. So for a given distribution, you also have to check whether the given class intervals are inclusive or exclusive ones. Okay, if the given class intervals are inclusive class intervals, then we have to convert them into exclusive ones before proceeding further. Okay, now let us look at a problem here. The problem is about capital and number of companies. So capital is given in lakhs. The numbers are reduced to single digits here. So 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, 16 to 20, 21 to 25, 26 to 30, 31 to 35. The frequencies, that is the number of companies, are 20, 30, 60, 80, 50, 25 and 15. So for this data we have to calculate the Bowley's coefficient of skewness. Now observe the class intervals here, they are inclusive class intervals. So since Bowley's coefficient of skewness is based on quartiles, which are measures of position, and for a positional average we need to convert the inclusive classes into exclusive classes. So we can do that by subtracting the lower limit of the next class minus upper limit of the previous class divided by 2. That is, in this case, 6 minus 5 divided by 2, which is 1 by 2, that is 0.5. So you go on adding the 0.5 to all the upper limits of all the classes, and you subtract the 0.5 from lower limits of all the classes. So therefore your new class intervals are, instead of 1 to 5 you are writing 0.5 to 5.5, 6 to 10 becomes 5.5 to 10.5, 11 to 15 becomes 10.5 to 15.5, 16 to 20 becomes 15.5 to 20.5, 21 to 25 becomes 20.5 to 25.5, 26 to 30 becomes 25.5 to 30.5, and 31 to 35 becomes 30.5 to 35.5. The frequencies are written as they are, and while calculating the quartiles, the first step is we have to take the cumulative frequencies. So 20 as it is, 20 plus 30 50, 50 plus 60 110, 80 plus 110 plus 80 is 190, 190 plus 50 is 240, 240 plus 25 is 265, 265 plus 15 is 280. So first quartile we find out by the following steps. First we need to find out Q1 is equal to 1 into n by 4. So n by 4 is 280 divided by 4. Okay, so that is 70. So 70, we have to locate the value 70 in the LCF. So the value corresponding to 70 is here 110, which is the highest value than 70. So class corresponding to it is 10.5 to 15.5. So our Q1 class is 10.5 to 15.5. Therefore, the Q1 value is L plus n by 4 minus Cf divided by f into C. That is 10.5 plus 70 minus Cf is the cumulative frequency preceding the quartile class. That is 50 divided by f, frequency of the quartile class, 60 into 5. So that results into 10.5 plus 1.67, that is 12.17. Similarly, we go for Q2. So Q2, we have to locate the class here first. That is 2 into n by 4th observation. That is 280 into 2, 560 divided by 4. So which is 190. So we have the value 190 here in the LCF. So the class corresponding to 190 is 15.5 to 20.5. So Q2, the formula for Q2 is L plus 2 into n by 4 minus Cf divided by f into C. That is 15.5 plus 140 minus 110 divided by 80 into 5. That is 15.5 plus 1.875, which results into 17.375 lakh. Okay. Similarly, we have the Q3 class. So the Q3 class is the class corresponding to 3 into n by 4. So that is 840 divided by 4. So 280 into 3 divided by 4, 840 divided by 4, which is 210. So we have to locate that 210 in the cumulative frequency here. So 240 is the next highest value than 210. And the class corresponding to it is 20.5 to 25.5. So we have located the class. Now the formula of Q3 is given by L plus 3 into n by 4 minus Cf divided by f into C. That is 20.5 plus 210 minus 190 divided by 50 into 5. So that is results into 20.5 plus 2, that is 22.5. Actually it has been misprinted here. It should be 22.5. Okay. So Pauli's coefficient of skewness is given by Q3 plus Q1 minus 2 into Q2 divided by Q3 minus Q1. So 22.5 plus 12.17 minus 2 into 17.375 divided by 22.5 minus 12.17, that is 34.67 minus 34.75 divided by 10.33, that is minus 0.08 divided by 10.33, which is minus 0.0077. Now the answer here is a negative value. So the distribution is negatively skewed is our conclusion here. Now let us look at another problem here. So find the measure of skewness based on quartiles for the following data. Now let us look at the data here. The data is age. So the class intervals are below 20, 20 to 25, 25 to 30, 30 to 35, 35 to 40, 40 to 45, 45 to 50, 50 and above. The class frequencies are 13, 29, 46, 60, 112, 94, 45 and 21. Now observe the class intervals here. These class intervals here are exclusive, but here the first and the last class interval, they are open end intervals. So for the first class we don't have the lower limit. It says below 20, 20 is the upper limit, but there is no lower limit. Similarly here 50 and above, so 50 is the lower limit, but there is no upper limit here. Anyways, while computing median, mode or quartiles or any positional averages, it doesn't matter if the distribution is open end. Even if it is an open end, still we can compute the positional averages. Hence there is no problem in computing quartiles here. So we shall follow the same procedure here also. So first is find the location of the quartile, that is the class corresponding to n by 4 value. So here the n value total is 420. So n by 4th value, so 420 divided by 4, which is 105. So we have to locate this 105 in the cumulative frequency column. So either 105 or a number next greater than 8. So that is 148 is here. The interval corresponding to it is 30 to 35. So the first quartile class is 30 to 35. Next, the second quartile class 840 divided by 4, that is 210. So we have to locate the 210 here, or 260. 260 is the, so 260, which is just highest than 210. Its corresponding class interval is 35 to 40. So Q2 class is 35 to 40. Next, Q3 class. So 3 into n by 4, that is 1260 divided by 4, that is 315th observation. So 315th value here is 354. So 354 is just greater than 315, and its corresponding class interval is 40 to 45. So therefore 30 to 35 is the Q1 class, 35 to 40 is Q2 class, and 40 to 45 is the Q3 class. Next, the quartiles are calculated as follows. So Q1 is equal to L plus N by 4 minus CF divided by F into C. So 30 plus 105 minus 88 divided by 60 into 5. That results into 31.417. And Q2 is equal to L plus 2 into N by 4 minus CF divided by F into C. That is 35 plus 210 minus 148 divided by 112 into 5. That is 37.768. Next, Q3 is equal to L plus 3 into N by 4 minus CF divided by F into C. That is 40 plus 315 minus 260 divided by 94 into 5. That is 42.926. So the first quartile value is 31.417. The second quartile value is 37.768. And the third quartile value is 42.926. And the Bowley's coefficient of skewness is given by Q3 plus Q1 minus 2Q2 divided by Q3 minus Q1. So 42.926 plus 31.417 minus 2 into 37.768 divided by 42.926 minus 31.417. So that is minus 1.193 divided by 11.509. That is 0.104. So since the value is negative here, we conclude that the distribution is negatively skewed. So the point to remember here is that if the given class intervals are exclusive classes, then we need, sorry, if they are given, the given class intervals, if they are inclusive classes, then we have to convert them into exclusive. If the given intervals are open end, then it's totally fine as far as Bowley's coefficient of skewness is concerned. Since it involves positional averages, we can easily compute the positional averages for the open end distribution. Previously, the problems that we solved and discussed, they all are for 10 marks. So Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness or Bowley's coefficient of skewness is for 10 marks. So here let us discuss some problems which are for 2 marks. So the first problem is the mean and mode of weekly wages of a group of workers are rupees 45 and 36 respectively. If the standard deviation is rupees 18, find the coefficient of skewness. So for a distribution, they have given you the mean value, the mode value, and the standard deviation value. We just have to apply the formula and get the results. So mean value is 45, mode value is 36, and standard deviation value is 18. So Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness is given by x bar minus mode divided by sigma, that is 45 minus 36 divided by 18, which is 9 by 18, that is 0.5. Since the answer here is a positive number, we conclude that the distribution is positively skewed. Similarly, another problem here. Calculate the Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness if mean is equal to 23, median is equal to 25, and sigma is equal to 10. So here we have the median value here. So the formula is 3 into x bar minus m divided by sigma, that is 3 into 23 minus 25 divided by 10, that is 3 into minus 2 divided by 10, that is 0.6 minus 0.6. Since the distribution, the answer is a negative value, the distribution is negatively skewed. Let's look at another problem here. So the mean of a distribution is 15, its standard deviation is 50. The mean of the distribution is 50, its standard deviation is 15, and the coefficient of skewness is minus 1. Find the median. So they have given the answer, they have given the mean value, and they have given the standard deviation value. So you have to find out the median value here. So minus 1 is equal to 3 into 50 minus median divided by 15. So cross multiply this here. So minus 1 into 15 becomes minus 15 is equal to 150 minus 3 into median. So take the median value this side and 15 this side. So 3 into median is equal to 150 plus 15, that is 165. So median is equal to 165 divided by 3, that is equal to 55. So the median value is here 55. Next, let us look at some problems based on Bowley's coefficient of skewness. So these are also 2 mark questions. In a distribution, the sum of lower and upper quartiles is 40 and their difference is 16. If the median is 18, then find the coefficient of skewness. Sometimes to confuse you, they won't say the value of second quartile. Instead of second quartile, they will give you as median. So remember one thing, that median is the second quartile, or second quartile is equal to median. So Bowley's coefficient of skewness is given by Q3 plus Q1 minus 2m divided by Q3 minus Q1. So that is Q3 plus Q1 is, they have given the sum of lower and upper quartile as 40 here. 40 minus 2 into 18. The Q2 value is 18 here. So 2 into 18 divided by 16. So 40 minus 36 divided by 16, 1 by 4, which is 0.25. Okay. Next, in a distribution, the first quartile is 142 and the semi-interquartile range is 18. If the distribution is symmetric, then find the second quartile. So given Q1 is equal to 142. So they have given the first quartile is equal to 142, and the semi-interquartile range, that is the quartile deviation, is given as Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2 is 18. Therefore Q3 minus Q1 is equal to 36. Now the Q1 value here is 142. So take this Q1 this side, it becomes Q3 is equal to Q1 plus 36. So Q3 is equal to 36 plus 142, which is 178. So this is how we find out the Q3 value. Now for a symmetric distribution, here the condition is that the distance between the two quartiles must be equidistant. So the Q3 is minus Q2 is equal to Q2 minus Q1. So we have to find the Q2 here. We don't know the Q2 value. So Q2 will be is equal to Q3 plus Q1 divided by 2. That is 178 plus 142 divided by 2. That is Q2 is nothing but the mean of the first quartile and the third quartile. So that is 160. So 320 divided by 2, that is 160. Okay. Next. For a distribution, the Bowley's coefficient of skewness is minus 0.36. The lower quartile is 8.6 and the median is 12.3. Find the upper quartile, that is we have to find the Q3 here. So this is your Bowley's coefficient of skewness, that is minus 0.36 is equal to Q3 plus 8.6 minus 2 into 12.3 divided by Q3 minus 8.6. So cross multiply this here. So minus 0.36 into Q3 plus 3.096 is equal to Q3 plus 8.6 minus 24.6, which results into Q3 is equal to 14.04. Hence the upper quartile value is 14.04.